You know, 1967 was the very first year for the GTX, and we've talked about it before that it was one of their very first muscle cars that was also a luxury edition. It's amazing to me that a company like Chrysler would come out with an introductory year like 1967 and not just be walking on eggshells to say, hey, how's the market going to like our 67 GTX? It's all new. They said, Fooyan, I don't care if you like it or not. We're going to put a 426 Hemi in it, and we're going to make it convertible. And if you don't like that, we're going to put a 4-speed in one, too.
My name is Brett Torino. Aaron and I work together in a collection that I own, and primarily Mopar cars. I've had a love for Mopar ever since I was a young man. One of my favorite cars is sitting behind me right now, which is why we're here.
About 6 months ago, I received a phone call from Aaron McLeese of the Torino Collection, asking me if we had any room to do any more restoration work. They had seen the show, they had seen the cars that we do, they were very impressed with it. And so after discussing the terms and the conditions of a restoration, we put a deal together and had the car shipped up here to Graveyard Cars.
You know, this GTX, it represents everything that was great about Detroit. You know, it's a Hemi, it's a 4-speed car, it's a big car, and I just love it. So I'm driving it up to my ranch. And all of a sudden I see the hood ornament wobble, bounces off the hood, hits the windshield. I got the top down, I throw my arm up, I grab the ornament, I caught it in midair, and at that point I knew it was time to get some work done on the car.
Aaron loves the sound of the GTX. It does have a different exhaust system on it than it came with from the factory, and he wants to make sure that that car, even though the rest of it is 100% OEM correct, he wants it to sound the same.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's great to see you.
Oh, I'm so excited about the car. I can't wait to get the dang thing back, hop in it, turn the key, and drive it.
So today we're getting ready to disassemble the 67 Hemi GTX 4-speed convertible. It's not that old of a restoration, but it has been restored. It just wasn't done exactly perfect. And so Brett, being a perfectionist like myself, would like us to disassemble it, restore it correctly. If we can use some of the original parts, which is why this is going to take a little bit longer to do, the disassembly, we're going to be more cautious, then we will reuse them. So let's take the rear differential out of it. That'll mean we need to get a slide plug for here, a yoke to slide into there, okay?
Okay.
So get me a yoke to slide into it out of one of the other cars we've taken the motor and transmission out of lately, and get me a drop light.
Okay.
Well, you guys start rounding up tools.
Do you record the sound of the engine?
I actually almost overlooked one of the most key details, which was that exhaust system and the sound. After Aaron had told me how important it was to him, I decided that I would just catalog the sound digitally. So I had Soundboy come over, put the microphone against the two pipes, measure it at 1,000 RPM, 2,000 RPM, then we can put it on one of those funny graphs that shows all the peaks and everything, so we can actually look at it that way. I'm gonna probably want it like right here in the middle. That way, it'll take both audios and put them together. He can't say the left pipe's louder. I mean, they're great guys, but I ain't dying for somebody's exhaust not being the same. Okay, go ahead and kill it. Document in your file that is at 2,000 RPM, a steady 2,000 and a rev to 3,500. Okay, let's get this thing apart. What are you waiting for, Alice? Raise it up, chrome dome. Oh, now see, this is interesting because today these cars are big dollar cars, they're collector cars, but back in the day, somebody was pulling a trailer with this. That's cool. I mean, that's what they were built for. They were utilitarian vehicles.
Hold those in. Everybody ready to drop out? Nope. Nope. So, it's not going so well. Too many people trying to do too many things.
What'd I do?
You're right there by my ear. Everywhere I go, you're just right there.
I rest my case.
I don't think that the guys are used to taking a car apart like this. I mean, I've taken all kinds of cars apart, but I don't think that they have taken one apart where it's so important to preserve the integrity of the original parts that are coming off. You know, they're three baboons, you know, with wrenches and screwdrivers. A lot of the components on it are Survivor, not just Survivor that they made it, but Survivor good. The seats are actually beautiful. The disassembly of the drivetrain and the GTX really went well. Once the rear axle is down out of the car, you can concentrate on the front. It went smooth. You unbolt your K-member bolts, you take your upper control arms loose, you take your torsion bars out. The exhaust is already off of the car. We had disconnected the top side of it before we raised it up in the air. So really then after that, it's just a matter of getting the forklift in position and lowering that engine down out of the cradle. Now that we got the front and rear suspension and the whole bottom disassembled off of the car, we can let it down, put it on dollies, move it out from underneath the bin pack where we can get the doors open and start taking apart the dash, the interior, the trunk compartment, the engine compartment, and get it ready to go up north for some good old-fashioned metal dipping. So what I'm looking at now is the 67 Hemi GTX convertible for Brett Torino. This car's been already up to the metal dipper. So what I'm feeling for right now is I need to sign off and say that it's okay to go ahead and primer over this bodywork, which it's not, because I'm feeling low spots and high spots that need to be fixed before it gets primed. So it's just a matter of you gotta concentrate, get the feel before you sign off. I have to know you can't get it absolutely perfect to the feel. What you have to get it perfect to is the look. That's the key. You have to know what's gonna show. It may feel high to your hand, but when you see the car done, you cannot tell it's high. It looks absolutely perfect. That's why they have to have me sign off on it. I can feel it's just a little bit fat. And now I can feel it's a little bit low. So it's just a matter of getting the feel. Some people never get it. I was born with it. So the GTX is looking really good. There's a few spots that do need some attention, but for the most part, it's ready to get its first primer, and I think that Brett Torino's gonna be really excited to find out that we're moving ahead to that point, and that's one step closer to getting the dark blue paint on it.
After Mark signs off on the mud work, it's off to our painter, Will Scott, to apply sealer to the body and prep for the GTX's first coat of paint.
I'll put 3 or 4 coats of color on it, 2 coats of clear, get the whole outside of it painted. So this will go back to the body man as soon as I'm done. He'll assemble the whole car, we'll clean up any areas that might need addressing, and then we'll block it down again, and it'll be ready for final paint. It's important to do a good mask job. You know, painting, it's actually the easy part, to come in here and paint it. If your prep works really nice, then the paint job will come out nice. So I got the GTX all masked, ready for paint. I'm gonna go in there first and get the doors all jammed, and then we can hang them on the car and do the final paint. So I sealed the doors. That takes about 10 minutes to really dry. I lay the blue down first, because it's a smaller area to mask off. Give that about 30 minutes so it's nice and dry so I can tape on it. Tape off all the blue. I'm gonna lay the black down. Then right after I lay the black down, I can unmask it. Then that's where you'll have your two-tone. And then I'll give that about 10 minutes. Then I go in there and put 2 coats of clear on it, and it's done. So right now, I've got the whole car all long blocked in 320. Mark and I last night fitted the doors, the fenders, got everything aligned properly. So we're doing the final block on it now, scuffing out the jams. And then when I take it outside to wash it and get all the dust off it and whatnot, that's when I'll do my wet sand with 600. And then it'll be ready for color. So once I got the pre-paint completely done, I'll let it cure out real good. I'll sand it, block it, prep it, and get it ready for the final paint job. So right now I've got 6 coats of color on it. I'm giving it about 15 minutes to finish drying. Then I'm gonna go in there, put 3 coats of clear on, and I'm done. So I'll have the GTX wrapped up paint-wise today. I'll get it cut and buffed and over to assembly next week. The car came here just to get freshened up on the body and paint, and that was it. So the assembly should go real fast.
The GTX is painted, cut, buffed, and sent out to the assembly shop. Now it's time to install the newly restored dash from Instrument Specialties.
Have you got side bolts in place yet?
Yeah, side bolts are in place.
Okay. This will go up here.
I'll let you. You have a little. Let me try getting here on free.
Yeah, there it goes. Beautiful.
There you go.
The dash went in like butter. Right now, Dave is installing all the rest of the wiring. He's plugging the plug and plays together where they're supposed to go, chasing them down, putting everything where it needs to be. Here's our goal, all right? Once he gets that dash done and everything wired in place, we're gonna be able to put a battery in it and then we can do a systems check.
With the dash installed, it's nearly time to assemble the interior. But first, the GTX needs its window glass and its signature white convertible top. Convertible tops can be particularly difficult, so the Ghouls bring in an expert to get the job done to Mark's exacting specifications. With the convertible top in place and the trim pieces tightened down, it's time to test the electric convertible top mechanism. The Ghouls move on to the installation of the GTX's monochromatic blue interior. Some items like carpet are completely replaced with new original equipment replicated components, whereas the original pieces that are in good condition, along with the hard-to-find pieces, are cleaned up and restored. When working with survivor and near-survivor quality cars, it's best to save anything that can be feasibly preserved. As Mark always says, it's only original once, and collectors will pay top dollar for well-preserved original components. With the assembly complete, it's time to take this ultra-rare Hemi GTX convertible out on the road.
Yes, we're ready to start this mother humper up.
All right.
Ready?
Let's do this.
Nope. Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
Wow.
Not bad.
That sounds good.
It does sound pretty good.
On the engine portion of it, that thing ran really good. If you recall, he was threatening my life if it didn't run exactly the same as it did when it was here and if it didn't sound exactly the same. So I made sure we didn't touch any of that. I got my audio boy out back, recording it. We're recording that mother blanker in stereo. Reminds me of my rapping days. Turn my headphones up, man. 1-843-6572, 1-843-6572, 1-843-6572, 1-843-6572. I can actually hear the cylinders firing. Sounds good. I can't hear the cylinders firing. So we're gonna do our last minute check, button up, make sure it's ready for the road, do our parking lot test, and take it out and go do some damage.
Can't wait.
So I'm excited, yeah. I mean, it's the first time we've actually driven that car. I didn't even drive it when it came in here, so I'm looking forward to it. Not every day you get to drive a 67 GTX 426 Hemi 4-speed convertible. Okay,
Amazing.
I'm gonna fire it up.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
Hey, we're getting ready to go for a spin.
Without me? What's his face for? What's wrong with you?
You going?
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Are we gonna put the top down?
Let me put the top down. More power to her.
Yep.
Congratulations. Welcome to hell.
Wow.
You let off and it chirps.
Turns out, yeah.
Guys, I can't even see. This is stupid.
Drove good, ran good, tracked good, steered good, brake good. Brewers just built that transmission, so it's like butter in there. That car's tight. It feels really, really good. We got a handful of little things, some brush touching to do, adjust a carburetor on one of the carburetors, brush touch some of the bolts underneath the hood, and that's really there and ready to go.
Hello,
Hey, is this Brett?
this is Brett.
Just got off the phone with Brett Torino, and I want to be Brett for a day. He's everywhere. Don't think for a second he's not in the air. He's in the air. Because I say, well, hey, Brett, this is Mark at Graveyard Carz. He says, oh, I thought I might be hearing from you. I heard through the grapevine.
You might be calling me.
How does he know? Because he has people everywhere, I'm telling you. That's why he's Brett Torino, I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, he didn't know for sure if it was done, so I told him it was done. He's very excited. And I said, I guess then the question is, you know, this is all on you. We'd love to see you tomorrow, but...
Well, how about the day after tomorrow?
Are you serious?
The 1967 Hemi GTX has been detailed and waxed, and the ghouls are getting it prepared for its reveal to the owner, Brett Torino.
That's really a pretty color. It is. This whole thing's coming out. Coming out really nice. I think we're good to go for delivery. Piece of cake.
You forgot something.
I don't do the engine stuff.
The fender tag. No fender tag.
Yeah, I have that over in my toolbox, actually. So while you're doing this, then I'm gonna go over and get that fender tag and spray it real quick.
You better, Mark's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, you can get over it. Well, I have two. You know what I should do?
Yeah?
Come here. I got a great idea. You are so gonna be in on this. This is the fender tag that is correct for this car. This fender tag is not. This is for a Superbird. So I'm thinking, I paint them both blue.
Yeah.
You install this on this car.
Okay.
And we
The
won't tell
Superbird one.
The Superbird one
Okay.
on this car, and we don't say to Mark.
Okay.
At all.
Our 1967 Hemi-powered 4-speed 354 Dana blue on blue GTX convertible is completely done. I mean, restored, detailed, sitting out back waiting for its owner to show up. That's where we're at right now. Everybody's excited about Brett showing up.
Yeah, I met Trino on his last visit with Elsa, and they're awesome. I can't wait for them to come to the shop and check out their car and just visit with them. Honestly, they're such cool people.
And here we go into the Taj Mahal, I call it.
Wow. I can't wait to see it. I miss it. It's a beautiful convertible Hemi 4-speed GTX. One of my favorite cars of all time. Mark's World.
Mark's World. Yeah, there's Alyssa. Yeah. I think that this moment right here is one for Brett that he'll remember as well because it is his favorite car. It is done right. He'll be able to enjoy it, maintenance-free, have fun, have a ball in it, and truly get back to, I think, the appreciation he had for cars when he first started his collection. And I will remind you, just as I already know you know, certain little things.
Like how it sounds.
The exhaust is exactly the way
I'll
it
be
did
hearing
because
that car before I see it, right?
I know the whole routine.
Right, Mark?
Okay, yes, sir. Everything's going to work out.
There was a recording made, some decibel printout or something that had something to do with, you know.
Do you want me to send it to NASA? I'm telling you, I did my best, all right? It sounds the way it did before. So we're going to bring you guys out back, have you wait, and I'm going to bring the car around the corner and let you see it for the first time in 3 years.
It's worth the wait.
So excited.
Been a while since you've seen it, huh?
Too long. Way too long.
I'm going to line you guys up here. Bing, bing, bing,
My
bing,
reaction
bing.
is, where's the car?
I didn't want to spoil you when I came around the corner. All right.
It's my only one.
It's your only one. That's right.
Which one is the ugly one?
You sure you're ready? I mean, we can go do something
ready.
else.
No, come on, bring it out.
I'm here to help you. You believe that, don't you?
He seemed a little excited. I mean, he was glad to see everybody and meet and greet, but I think he really wanted to see the car.
Wow. I hear it.
Does it sound the same?
I hear it. It sounds better. I miss
heard it for so long.
That's right.
That's a good and a bad.
Wow.
It's
Oh my God. Look at this thing.
I knew that when I went around the corner and saw the smile, pretty much I was out of the woods.
Wow. Wow.
It is awfully pretty.
Oh my God. Here, let me give you a hug. Wow.
All right, big man.
Oh my God, this thing. This thing literally could bring tears to my eyes. Mark, amazing. God almighty, Mark, I am just blown away.
That's just beautiful. Now, I know you've got red cap batteries down there, and if you want to put one in it, but I never had much luck with them lasting.
You guys playing games?
Huh?
This.
What's that? It's a little darker. But that's
It's
just
a little
because he
darker.
painted. Yeah, he just painted it.
This.
When he comes out and you're looking at the car and you pop the hood, make sure you notice that's the wrong fender tag for
Yeah,
it.
I'll look very curious.
Yeah.
Is it my imagination, or is that a... Hang on. Is that a Limelight Superbird 4-speed? So when I look over the fender and I see a Superbird fender tag, I mean, you do. Your sphincter puckers up just for a second. You have that little moment where you're not sure if you're coming or going.
What are you looking at me for?
That's the fender tag
I'm just a
that you gave Will
customer.
to paint.
For this car? No, it's not. Somebody better have the
It's okay. It's okay.
son of a...
It's okay. It's okay.
You know, I have a healthy sense of humor, as everybody knows, and I like a good joke, and I like to have fun. I just didn't see Brett playing along.
But that was cool. That was funny. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. It's good to have a laugh.
I think once everybody's kind of nerves calmed down a little bit and we had the opportunity to digest the car, relax a little bit, know that it was real and everything was happening, everything was going to work out, that's when he really started to gain the appreciation for the car.
This is hard. Yeah, I can't wait. This car will get driven. And I wanted it to be able to be driven, you know. It wasn't restored to park it in a building and stare at it. I want this car to be driven, and it will be driven. It's a great day. You know, I know my GTX has been here several years, but for me, getting the car back right and knowing what I get back, you know, it's worth the wait. You know, I wouldn't want a car back that wasn't perfect. At least I know when Mark and the gang are working on my cars, when the car's ready to leave, that car's going to be as perfect as it could be. So for me, the wait just makes the reunion that much more special.
The test drive went great. The car sounded great. Everything went absolutely perfect on it.
No problems, no errors. All in all, once that was done, he had to fly out of here. We said our goodbyes, shook hands, and it was just a great visit. Always welcome back here. He's part of the family.
Thank you. I mean, just thank Mark, thank everyone, Royal, the whole gang that, you know, I've watched over the years. Thrilled to be able to know them. All great people. And heck of a lot of fun coming out here today. Enjoyed every minute of it.